Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. In this particular analysis, there's a question I want us to answer. Is ODM out of the government? I am going to use the available information to try as much as possible to answer the question. We have seen happenings in Kenya. We have seen politicians speak. But my attention in this particular analysis has been drawn to a video where James Orengo is speaking in black and white. James Orengo has decided never again to hide the cat in a sack. He has decided to open the sack, and the cat is already out roaming around in the sitting room. And when you see James Orengo speak, I've always told you, just know it is Raila Odinga speaking. James Orengo has been Raila Odinga's friend for decades. They have fought constitutional injustices together. They have fought presidential petitions together. The most famous one is the 2017 election petition that was being led by Senior Counsel James Orengo and CJ Maraga at that time called for fresh election. Now, what is James Orengo saying this time around? Can we listen to him?
I am prepared to go back to jail. I'm prepared to go back on the streets. This is not a country to be proud about. This is a country where now the young people, the Gen Zs, you have to come out and we are prepared to join you. In Kenya, our institutions are under trial. There's no single institution that is not under trial in Kenya. If you go to the Supreme Court, there are a lot of questions that are being raised about the principal judicial organ, the supreme organ in the country called Kenya. There are questions on the issue of the Constitution, and here I'm with Raila Odinga. Devolution is under threat, and until we are prepared to fight for the Constitution and not for the little things we are given, unless we are prepared to fight for what is in the Constitution for us as a matter of right, Kenya is going to lose direction. I am asking the Kenyan people that we should be like other democracies where people fight for their rights and what belongs to them. That is how we can take Kenya forward. Not by this silly politics we are being engaged in. Now, even in the political field now, 60 years, Kenya is a republic. And the only strategy we can think about winning elections at the national level is to form ethnic coalitions, tribal coalitions. Tribal coalitions, that is not going to help. Right now in Kenya, the last free and fair election that we had was in 2002. If we are not careful, even this election that is coming is not going to be free and fair. I am looking at it critically. Even with this IBC, I can see the membership that is going to come out of this process. I am sure that unless they are constitutionally anchored and allowed the space, Kenya is not going to have free and fair elections. It's not going to have free and fair elections. We are living in a country where the most popular man in the country for the last 20 years, Raila Odinga, cannot win an election because it's being stolen all the time. And we are forced to now enter into deals and transactions that do not make sense. So the struggle is going to be more difficult.
Yes, that is James Orengo. I remember the very first time since the handshake, I remember when James Orengo negatively spoke about government, the people had not yet understood the mood of Raila Odinga from Siaya rushed to a press conference and said they are elders from Luo Nyanza, and they threatened to begin an impeachment process to send Orengo home because he has gone against the bread-based government. Later on, Raila Odinga came out and said, wachana na Orengo kwa sababu in Kenya, each and every citizen has what we call freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Those elders never went back again on media. They disappeared just like that. So since that time, Orengo has been hitting the nail on the head. In this particular speech, Orengo is saying he is ready to be jailed. Orengo says he is ready to go back to the streets. Orengo adds to say the tokenism people are receiving from Kenya Kwanza government in the name of development. Orengo says they are mere things to kill our constitution. That it completes to say that I don't know what brought us into this nonsense, right? So, let us pause there and say something. So, according to James Orengo, the handshake between Raila and William Ruto is nonsense. But again, the question I ask myself, Orengo is speaking on whose behalf? Because he is in ODM, an elected governor in ODM, a party that is in the broad-based government, strongly in the broad-based government. So, Orengo is speaking on whose behalf? Definitely, I can authoritatively say, Orengo, not even could, is speaking on behalf of Raila. So, according to Raila Odinga, Raila does not understand who brought him to this nonsense called handshake. According to James Orengo's sentiments. So, Raila is regretting, through James Orengo, that he doesn't understand who brought him to all this nonsense called the broad-based government. So, what are we to do as the people of the Republic of Kenya? There are two parties here. There is a party called Raila Odinga's party. I mean, Raila Odinga's team. There is another team called William Ruto's team. The Raila Odinga team believes in devolution. The William Ruto team doesn't believe in devolution. And remember, devolution is well structured in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, which Kaongo has refused to support. So James Orengo is saying the Kenya Kwanza government is up to finish devolution, meaning they are up to kill the Constitution. And Orengo says we can only heal this if we recall, if we go back to the streets and defend our Constitution. If we don't do so, Orengo warns Kenya is headed to the ditch. So in short, Raila is calling Kenyans back to the streets. But then, what are we going to fight for this time around? Because we were told, tuende kwa street, we fight injustices. Tuende kwa street, we fight for devolution. Tuende kwa street, we fight for abductions. Tuende kwa street, We fight for innocent killings. What have we achieved? When you look around, wewe ukijiangalia hapa kwa hizi vitu zote ambazo walisema ziko kwa MOU, how many have we achieved as a people? So when Orengo is calling people to the streets on behalf of Raila Odinga, what exactly are we going to fight for? My conclusion, the streets are calling, but this time round, I don't know if Kenyans will heed to the call. My only advice is this: we, the people of Kenya, have the power to change what is happening right now. Look around your area. We have the power to change it. We have the power to change it. Uko na kitambulisho, uko na ID na kila kitu, it's upon you. Ni wewe peke yako na Mungu wako. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.